Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the Arrow Panel, episode 15. I'm here with my lovely co-hosts, Dalton Blue Chows Runberg and Oliver Telperian. Do you ever... you don't have a last name, do you?
No. Who cares about my last name?
Yes, that's true.
Oliver's not even his first name.
It's true.
You're getting the middle name.
We're operating under pseudonyms here.
I'm Eric.
Yeah, no.
And you're...
No,
Your middle name.
Oh, Thomas.
Okay, there we go.
That's weird. Don't call me Thomas.
I'm going to call you Eric and Thomas for the rest of the night. I hope you're all prepared for this.
No, please no. First off, one cool thing we did this past week, I think Roger set it up, right?
I think Max did, actually. Or Jared, rather.
Jared? Oh, someone made an SF Evolved Discord channel, which we're in 2017 now, boys and girls.
Yeah.
I hadn't used Discord before this, really, but it's a really cool concept.
Yeah, I had really only used it for, like, Pokemon Go stuff, and that's not, like, much chatting. That's just, like, organizing stuff, so it's interesting to, like, see it as a chat room. And then I found out that you can make custom emojis.
Oh, yeah. Dalton's been going nuts with, there's a nut emoji, so
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. It's just baked into my subconscious now.
A nut button emoji.
There's a nut button.
And there's the egoism eyes emoji. There's...
You can use funga to thinking emoji at anything that anyone says.
Oh, yeah. Emu the artist, at Confissory on Twitter, made these, like, really cool icons for us. Not for Oliver, sorry. But,
I'm only a sometimes co-host anyway.
yeah.
So.
At this rate, Roger and James are also.
Twice in a week? I mean, twice in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you can get your own icon. But, yeah, so we have those icons as emojis also, and Jeff Stubbles as a thinking emoji.
Very relevant for when people say things in that Discord channel.
And mine's very encouraging. It's 2 thumbs up.
That's true. That's a good one.
I've definitely already used Funga Think at least like half a dozen times.
Yeah.
So if you are on Discord, or even if you're not, you want to join, I think the link is pinned to our Twitter page right now.
That is correct.
Yeah. So you can just go to our Twitter page at SF_evolved. And the Discord link is right up there. You can join. There's a lot of people.
There's like 80 people
there's
or
like
something.
Close to 100 people that are in and out of the server now.
Yeah, there's usually about like 30 on at a time, 30 or 40 at a time, and we just talk about sometimes DDR stuff.
All sorts of music gaming.
Yeah, music games
things,
and just
topics.
Whatever.
Yeah, so it's just fun if you're like just bored at work and you want to chat with us. And you can ask us, like, you can ask me questions, just at me in chat or whatever, then I'll answer something if you have a question about DDR or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, join. It'll be fun. What else we got? Tournament stuff?
Yeah.
So this past weekend we had the San Jose Round 1 tournament. First off, 57 entrants.
Yeah, it was
crazy. Oh my god. That's the largest single event tournament I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, this is rivaling like the heyday of DDR for me. Like, that was, you used to get, I mean, I think Rocky Mount 9 or 10 had like 90 people for ITG at one point.
Yeah.
But nothing has ever come close to that. Like, most tournaments I've seen are, like, if you can get 30 people in a DDR tournament, like, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, we had people come from SoCal, from like the LA area, had people come from Sacramento, and like Roseville. There's a Dave & Buster's up there, so there's a whole community of people. All these people that, like, I've never met before that, like, came, and actually a few people that recognized us. Like, I had this guy go, "Oh, are you Dalton? Like, I listen to you every week," which is, like, it's so weird.
Out of context, that's really creepy.
Yeah, right? But,
it's very
it was very cool. I think that was Jordan. So, Jordan...
Toxic Fuzz?
Toxic Fuzz, yeah.
Okay,
so,
okay.
he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's really nice.
Yeah, all these people that, like, I've never seen play DDR before, and they did really well in the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, all these people that, like, PFCing stuff, and I'm like, who are you?
Yeah. There's a lot of people from SoCal came up. I remember seeing some of these people at the Irvine tournament, and they, like, had a much more impressive showing up here, so they've been practicing a lot, it sounds like.
Yeah, Big C, Caesar.
Yeah.
He got really far. Miles, who's local here, like, he just entered our tournament like a year ago, and he said he tied for last place.
Yeah.
And now he made it to like top 16 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, or top 12. Like,
yeah,
it's really crazy.
It's crazy. All these people making like so much progress in such a short span, like new people that we haven't seen before. It was just like really awesome to see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The top is still like the first place, or the placed finishers are still mostly the same. But that's
top 8. It's generally the same people.
There is still a little bit of shift in there depending on like who shows up and how things go during the course of the day. Like I half expected Stephen to get second, I think, because it was really close in second and third.
Yeah. So Chris ended up winning because Jeff didn't enter.
I commentated instead.
Yeah. I couldn't enter because of my injury, but I was running around doing social media stuff.
Which was very good.
Posting on
a lot of fun.
Posting on Twitter a lot, which, it was...
That was really exciting, too.
It was cool. We got some good pictures.
Yeah.
And some good retweets out of that. So, it was really interesting, like, seeing people's reactions, like, during the tournament. And we got some good feedback on the commentary. People said like it added a lot. So if you happen to have watched the stream, like let us know what you think.
We can definitely we know that the audio wasn't great.
Yeah.
It's hard to do without. I don't know what the solution is, but round 1 is obviously loud all the time, forever and ever.
Like the whole building is loud, and then you guys were sitting 15 feet behind the in front of the DDR machine it was blasting at you as well the entire time.
Yeah, but we were also next to the pump machine.
Yeah.
So many sources of extra background noise. It's a wonder that you were consistently clearly audible at all.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we were kind of talking right into the mic, but I wish there was a way that we could get the more close to the action of the actual game, and then somehow get all the sounds around us gone while it's just me and James.
Use the headset you just got.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't know if that actually works. We really need a soundproof booth.
The mic is still exposed. That's the thing that's gonna.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's tuned to be only pick up what's right in front of your mouth,
maybe.
Yeah. So
I think there's ways to work on it. We want to.
This was definitely a very first pass kind of thing. So
yeah, we'll give it a try. But I think for what it was and what we had some issues. We wanted to get the line out of the machine screen, didn't work.
Yeah.
So we ended up, we had a webcam and it was still good enough quality.
Yeah, the webcam was actually really good quality. I'm surprised. We started off really bad and it ended up being, we just changed the setting. I was like, oh, it's HD now.
Great. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, we didn't think the internet could handle 1080p, but apparently it could. So
yeah.
But yeah, just in general, the tournament was just really fun. It's just such a good time to see people come out and compete, and you get to talk to new people and meet new people. Since I didn't enter, I still got to meet and talk to all these new people that I hadn't seen before. It's just a really cool experience. Yeah. And I heard some people say or at least one person in the Discord channel wasn't aware. They said something oh, well, I wouldn't have even qualified. And I was like, everybody qualifies.
Everybody qualifies.
It's kind of a misnomer at this point.
Yeah.
It's a seeding rather than a qualifying. We're not a big enough tournament to actually rule people out based on the qualifier alone, so everybody gets to play at least one set in the tournament itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's you, if you think oh, I'm not even going to bother because then I won't even make it into the tournament, you can just enter and you'll at least get to play one match.
You'll get at least one match out of it.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, that's how you... I've spoken about this a long time, for many episodes, but that's how you get better. Because it's really not just enough to be good at the game. You have to also know how to play under pressure and in a tournament setting.
Strategically, yeah.
Yeah, and there's also a strategy that comes in play. And if you want to... I have some thoughts that I talked about on the commentary of, how people are picking, their card draws and how people are deciding sides and things like that. And... all those things those are the extra sprinkles on top of just being good at the game.
Yeah.
That's the ice cream center, and then you have the toppings on top.
Yeah,
I mean, ice cream on the brain.
And we had sort of discussed the strategy of choosing what song to veto. So the way that the tournament worked, I think we described this a couple weeks ago, but each match you have 5 songs in a specific difficulty range. And then each person gets to veto one song, and then you play the remaining 3. But, there's nuances to that. You have to know what your opponent may be good at. It's not just, what you're good at. And then it's also the song order.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I think people underrate about the card draw system is the order. It's if you veto the last song, it really doesn't matter if you don't get there. If you wouldn't have gotten there because you got 2-0'd.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're really bad at the last song, you may just want to try to, like, bet on 2-0ing your opponent and vetoing something, like, that's first or second.
Earlier on, yeah.
And I think we were actually talking, a couple of us, about, someone suggested, like, what if you, vetoed 2 songs and then randomize the order of the next 3?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually don't like that. I think it could work.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that's really interesting about the veto system is this: you're not necessarily vetoing your worst song. You're vetoing the song you think you'll have to play that you will do worst on.
Yeah.
Right. Which is a subtle but important difference.
Yeah. So I don't think a lot of people pick up on that.
I'd also like to... So for me, like, I don't really have enough stamina to play really hard stuff in the middle of the set, so...
Well, and you play no bar, too.
Leaving that aside... Like, if a 17 or 18 comes up in the beginning of the set, even if I think I can do well on it, I still might veto it because I don't want to lose all my energy in playing the first song and then throw the second and third.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
true.
There's so many subtleties that come into having the 5 songs, vetoing 2 and playing the other 3 in order.
Yeah.
So I think it would be maybe less strategy if they were randomized in order afterwards.
I definitely think there's less strategy.
Yeah.
I don't think, like... you're definitely taking a strategic element out.
Right.
So it, like, by definition, there's less strategy, though doesn't necessarily mean that more strategy is more better.
Yeah. At some point, you just have to be like, okay, we're going to play our set now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could conjure up, and we were sort of joking about the different ways you could conjure up really, really insane rules for, like, the percentage of songs.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like,
The
Levenstein difference between it's a good random system, actually, or something, with the song title or something.
Yeah.
Like, that's just,
The song appearance distribution is a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, so to run through the rankings, I mentioned Chris won earlier. Sappy from SoCal got second. Ninja Far from Fresno got third. Ty, who's up in Rose, I guess he plays in Roseville, I think.
Something like that.
Got fourth. Tied for fifth was Evil Dave, who came all the way from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that was a really close match. Like
there were so many close matches.
That's what I was going to say, is like, there was absolutely so many matches that were decided, like, right at the end of, somebody picks up a couple last. I think Steven and Sappy had one match that they, like, tied on, and it was because Steven picked up, like, 4 perfects, like, right at the end.
Yeah.
Omid also tied for 5th, and then Zetarux and Rad Rod tied for 7th. So that was the top 8. So it was a good showing.
Yeah, congrats to everyone. Even if you didn't place this time, I think, like we were saying, there are definitely people who were in the very bottom echelon of things and ended up in, like, top 16. I think when you look at someone like Rod, who went from... Well, he actually had a really good showing at Irvine, but for a while, he wasn't even on my radar of, like, people to look out for in a tournament, and yet finishing top 8.
No, I mean, he got, like, 12 on Flower Challenge.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah, like, in a tournament, too.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like he was...
That's really
He was, like, very consistent, too.
Yeah, he was turning up.
Yeah.
I remember him playing in the summer tournament, and I was, like, not super impressed with his performance there. So he's, like, in the last 6 months, he's gotten to this level.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that, like, focused practice is really paying off for him, I think. Like, it's paying off for Miles as well, from going from last up to top 16. Like,
yeah.
So you definitely have to start somewhere. Like, you got to enter your first tournament and do poorly, but then it's all uphill from there.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at Miles. Like we said, he got tied for last place a year ago, and now he's top 16, I think. Like, that's crazy. So...
Nothing happens
That's what we call
overnight.
an improvement.
Yes. Yes.
But it's like, I think it's easy to get discouraged. And it's not just about, like, you can't think about, like, the localized, like, this one tournament, like, because there's going to be more. And like, the first step at being good at something is being bad at it. And tournaments are no exception to that rule. You have to learn how to be in that setting.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just, it's a good sort of, like, skill marker. And sort of, like, something to look forward to and strive to, like, to motivate yourself to practice a little bit more, to, like, go outside your comfort zone, and, like, practice things that you might not others. I mean, we saw people veto stuff in card draw because they didn't know the chart.
Yeah, and that's the lowest hanging fruit. Like, I think, like, you have, like, even if you're not that like great at the game, knowing every chart immediately puts you ahead of some of the top players. Like,
yeah, because if you have to just veto a song because you absolutely don't know it, like, you're not vetoing strategically. Like, you don't have the option to veto strategically.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're vetoing, like, just to save your ass.
Yeah. And I think, like, I mean, we saw, like, people didn't know Pluto Expert.
Yeah.
People didn't know, well, I say people, Sappy. Sappy kept getting, like, Pluto and Pluto the First randomed on him or picked on him. And, yeah. It's just like, it's obviously he still did very well, but, you know, he didn't know Pluto and Pluto the First, and they came up in a random, and then the finals between him and Chris was like each player picked 2 songs, and then if there were more songs that were needed, there was a card draw for the future songs. And Chris knew that he didn't know Pluto and Pluto the First based on earlier, so he picked exactly those 2 songs against Sappy. And it's like, that's one thing that happens in tournaments sometimes, and it's kind of unfortunate, is if you show a weakness, you can be exploited really easily.
Yeah.
And that happened to me for any drill songs. Like, as soon as someone figured out that I was bad at Strike Beam in an ITG tournament, everyone in the future rounds picked it on me.
Yeah, there was a tournament I went to at Lake Forest Nickel, down in, like, LA, San Diego area, and this kid from Madeira, from Merced, went with us. And he went by Little David, and he was, like, really short, and so he couldn't do, like, stamina stuff, and, like, Uber Rave was in the tournament, and, like, he just couldn't do it. Like, his body wouldn't let him, and so, like, everybody just picked it on him, because it was, you know, in the days of, like, pick tournaments.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was no rule in place saying, like, you can't have a song picked on you more than once or whatever.
Yeah, which that you really can't have a tournament like that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to run a tournament like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, it kind of sucks, but it's a reason to learn everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
my point here was in favor of learning everything, because then no one, like, you can get things, like, if there is some sort of picking involved, then you can get, like, if you don't show an obvious weakness, like not knowing a gimmicky song, then that can't be used against you. And it's less relevant for card draw since it's mostly random, but it can happen. Like, I've definitely been, like, in the later matches and tournaments, I've looked at, you know, the card draw and been like, oh, I just know that this person's bad at this. And so it's hard to, like, but you gotta shore up weaknesses. And usually weaknesses are where you find your biggest gains. Like, it's very easy to play a song you know and increase your score by 3 perfects. But it's much harder, but also much more rewarding when you take a score, a song you absolutely don't know, and you passed it with 700k. And then you know, learn the chart and you bring it up to 950 or something. Like,
right.
That's a much more substantial improvement. Sometimes it doesn't feel as nice as getting a PFC or something, but it's especially important in a tournament setting.
Yeah, and there was another tournament last weekend too, Guac 2, which we promoted a few times. So that was on the East Coast over in Massachusetts. So
it was a DDR 2014 tournament.
Yeah. So our friend 9Volt won.
Friend of the show.
David, got first place, followed by ICDNH, which sounds sort of familiar.
That's very...
Is insert creative duplicate name here?
Could be. Third was not Alex Andrade, who I think is Alex Andrade. And then Nick St. Pierre got fourth. So they kind of did an interesting format that we sort of talked about, where they sort of have like a gauntlet style Final Four.
I've seen that happen a lot.
Yeah, so we had discussed the possibility of doing something like that in the future. So what do you think the pros and cons
Well, first of all, can you describe it for me, because I'm not super familiar with that format.
I believe they had like four songs. I'm not sure how the songs were.
So I'm pretty sure I know how this works. There's a lot of the East Coast tournaments have been doing this for top 4.
Okay.
So basically, you run a standard bracket up until top 4, and then when you get to top 4, so the like 2 people in winners and 2 people in losers left, then you bring them all together for, like, each player picks a song, and then each player plays all 4 songs, and your relative rank is used to determine how many points you get.
Yeah.
So,
So this one looks like it was actually, even top 8 had a set of 3 songs, and they were all expert 14s. So the top 8 was Healing Division, Keep on Moving, the Wanko remix, and Sakura Sunrise.
Interesting.
And then it went on to top 4, and it was actually cumulative EX score.
Oh, so it's different. So it's like KAC.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds very KAC.
Which is bad.
Yeah. So 9 Volt won by 34 points.
Wow, that's
or 20 at like
pretty small.
It was 7,241 to 7,217. So it was like a very small
That's
margin.
a small difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's different ways of doing it, but
I mean, that's something I've been interested in. I've been thinking about a little bit in terms of tournament stuff, because San Jose did do something different this time with this like hybrid picking card draw thing in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So like each player got to pick 2 songs, and then if it were to go, it didn't. And Chris ended up 4-0ing Sappy, so it didn't matter. But had Sappy won his picks or something, we would have gone to like more random songs.
I mean, it might even be interesting to alternate, like player 1 pick random song, player 2 pick random song, player 1 pick random. Like,
yeah,
sort of.
I don't know. Like at first glance, like it just seems like it's the middle ground between like 2 good options. You should just pick one of the other, like one of the good options.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that you gain anything really by combining the 2, because you have things like you could do a match rules kind of thing. So match rules being each player picks a song until someone's up by like 2 or 3, depending on
how you want to do it.
Like, because someone's coming from losers and someone's coming from winners. So typically, like the person from winners only needs to win by 2, and the person from losers has to win by 3.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you're picking. Well, that's really interesting, especially from a spectator perspective, because you're seeing people's best songs. Like, Chris is going to pick Egoism for 40 Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, but it also can be not as interesting, because if you're playing against if you're playing against Chris on Egoism, you have really no incentive to do that well. You're just going to like fail the song and wait, like give him the win and then move on to your pick and try. At least that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to try.
So we had discussed the possibility of still using card draw, like potentially drawing 8 songs between top 4 players and have each person veto one, something like that. So there's lots of possibilities.
Yeah, so that's one thing we were like. I think there's one interesting thing that can happen. There's a chance of this where you give people in winners a slight advantage by something like a veto or
a protect.
Yeah, or protect. That's what we were thinking of. So like if you come from winners, then you have the advantage that you get to protect a song, and when you protect a song, it cannot be vetoed by anyone else. Mm-hmm. And so if the card draw comes up and you're solid at a song, you I want that in. And then, because one thing that always kind of rubs me the wrong way is when there's an amalgamation step, for lack of, that's not a good word, but basically like bringing people from, like people who got knocked into losers are now on equal footing with people that came from winners.
Yeah, so you have to give the winners some sort of advantage.
Reward for having not lost any matches.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like the gauntlet stuff is like fine,
but to make it more fair.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So I'm just sort of like scheming about what might be cool in that scenario, and I think the song protects is like, because it's not like overtly OP. Mm-hmm. It's just like a nice to have. You could still do well if you come from losers and you like rock it on the set.
Yeah.
But it might be harder if someone is guaranteed a song that they're good at.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like something like that. I think
seems like it would be a pretty interesting format to run.
Yeah. We could run some simulations.
Yeah.
We get 4 people together, card draw, and like, run like, hey, this is what I would do, and kind of figure out how it ends up. I mean, you don't even have to play the songs, but just to see what songs you might end up with.
Yeah.
Based on those players.
Yeah. I want to have, I wrote a card draw application that a lot of people use in tournaments, and I want to, I'm making improvements to it slowly but surely. I'll actually have some time next week while I'm off work for Thanksgiving to make some improvements to it. And I want to add that, it'd be cool to have, the song protects built in, and kind of a more, just, more things you can toggle on and off so that it's,
right.
Customized to whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's, a good resource, even if you're not competing.
Yeah.
Just to, give yourself, just random 5 songs and play, or random 4 songs or 3 songs, or whatever you want to do, and just play those songs in a row. And because if you are told by a computer about what songs you should play, it's a lot easier than like going through the song list yourself and like picking out a song, because you're just gonna be like, I don't really want to play. What would you want to play?
Pluto.
Yeah,
I like Pluto. That's from my time.
Yeah.
So
That's true. I made my own chart to Pluto. And I took out all the stops.
Oh, God.
Kept the BPM changes.
But it is good for like making yourself play stuff that you wouldn't normally, and also getting yourself in that tournament mindset.
Yeah.
If that's the kind of thing you're trying to get towards because you can definitely play the game without ever thinking about tournaments. But if you want to play in tournaments, you have to practice for the tournament setting.
I also want to do a I think because we standard tournaments are run with like a NCAA style double elimination bracket, where you just pair up two people and have them go against each other. I've played in tournaments that I think it'd be cool to do something like this. This is a little bit too random, but there is like a gauntlet style that exists where everyone puts a song in a hat, and then you draw three, and then everyone in that round plays those songs.
Yeah.
It's hard because if you get one of your songs, you're like really, really happy.
Yeah.
Kind of like Idola, which was kind of skewed because of that. But you could also have, if you let's say that I wanted to commentate another tournament, and I just wanted to run it and say like, okay, I'm actually going to decide the gauntlet sets. So like, no one can influence me. I'm not entering, so there's no conflict of interest. But like, I'm just gonna every set is gonna have like a straightforward song, a like pretty technical song, and like something really gimmicky or really out there. And like, you're just gonna have to be prepared for whatever I got brewing up in the brain.
That's hard to like remain biased, especially when you like know so many people. Like it would be very hard to not think like, I'm gonna pick this song and this person's not good at this song.
Yeah, but I'm too evil. Like, I just want to ruin everyone's day, not just one specific person.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw in stuff that, no one actually wants to play.
I mean, invariably, it's not possible to remain completely...
Right, but...
In practice, yeah.
But that's one of the things, is, that's why I think we just need more tournaments, because it lets you try out wackier things. Like, I think there's been a resistance, and, rightfully so, in a lot of ways, of, trying out strange qualifiers or changing up the rules a little bit, should we do song protect, should we not? And it's if we just had more tournaments, we'd be able to experiment a lot more and come to a consensus on this is kind of the standard format, and then you can kind of deviate. You think about I'm a pinball player now. There are split flipper tournaments where you and a friend each grab one button.
God.
I mean, there used to be gimmicky tournaments like that.
Yeah, but
there still are sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's just I think a lot of tournament stuff is kind of overloaded right now, where it's it has to be this intensely competitive, super non-biased. And I'm not saying those things are bad. I think that should exist, and that should be the hallmark of tournaments. But it would be fun to have a Jeff's Evil tournament.
Yeah, we had the Extreme Plus tournament.
Yeah,
I was just thinking about the Extreme Plus tournament. Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That was the wildest.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And those sort of things, you don't take as seriously.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
It's just fun.
I had so much fun in that tournament.
Yeah.
So wait, I just want to describe.
Please describe this, because it's great.
So I think this is how I ran it, right? So I have an Extreme Plus kit. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while, but
it's been a while.
I think the first couple rounds were plus 0% speed.
That's correct.
And then the next, the intermediate rounds.
Okay, sorry, you have to back up. You have to explain what Extreme Plus is.
Yes.
So Extreme Plus is, man, we should have a whole episode on the bootleg mixes.
Oh no.
There's a bootleg of Extreme called Extreme Plus. I'm not going to go into the details too much, because I actually now want to have a tap episode where we talk about all the ridiculous things that are in Extreme Plus. But one thing it lets you do is it replaces the freeze arrow instruction screen when you're picking. So you pick style, difficulty, and then there's a freeze arrow thing that comes in. And it's hey, here's how freeze arrows work. They replace that with a screen that lets you press the green button for plus 0% speed, the left button for plus 10%, and the right button for plus 20%.
Yeah. So it's it's rate mods.
It's basically rate mods, but they they overclock the processor on the DDR board to make this happen. And actually, all songs are they also got the the crystal wrong. It's running at the wrong megahertz anyway for 0% speed, so it's actually 2%, 12%, and 22%. They didn't do the math right. They rounded
I don't remember that part of it at all.
It's like 35.45 is like the thing, like megahertz or whatever it is.
Okay.
Is like normal 573 like clock rate.
All right.
And the ones in Extreme Plus are 36, 38, and 40.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so they just rounded because I guess that's easier or something. Anyway, I held a tournament where later matches ran on higher speeds.
Yeah.
So not only was there like a card draw, but like you had to think about like, okay, here's like Senorita Speedy Mix. But it's actually going to be Senorita Speedier Mix.
I had to play Can't Stop Falling in Love the Speed Mix on, I think it was only 1.1. Like
just 10%?
Just 10. It might have, I don't know if it was late enough to be 2. But even with 10%, like adding 17 BPM to that, it's like, what, 170?
What's 187, yeah. It's actually more like 190 when they,
With the things, yeah. So like doing those jacks, like that much faster is ridiculous.
It's really, I should bring that back.
We should, I want to do another one of those.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So it's just...
Yeah, my highlight during that tournament was probably playing Daikenkai on plus 20% and getting a C.
Like you do.
Because I was like, I need to get a C on Daikenkai. Like, I don't care if I win this match. Like, this is the more important thing right now.
Oh
my god, Daikenkai is so fast at 20%.
Do it for the meme.
So, like, those tournaments, like, they're not, like, we don't have to say, like, if you win that, you're the best player ever or something, but just they're fun. And they do give you some exposure in sort of a lower pressure environment. And for, like, I mean, I think that's a little bit on the wacky side, but, like, there are just ways that I think we could have more variety, like, because there's lots of things that just aren't better or worse, they're just different.
Yeah.
And that's good. We should test out how things are different and, be able to kind of say, oh, this was fun because it was different than what I expected, or like I had to prepare for it in a different way.
I mean, that's why I really like sight read tournaments.
Yeah.
Like the only tournament I've ever won was a sight read tournament, which was
at the break, right?
No, it was at Fun and Games.
Oh, Fun and Games,
in New Jersey. Where
hey.
My mom took me to New Jersey because she wanted to go to a Clay Aiken concert.
As you do.
So she went to her Clay Aiken concert, and I went and played in a ITG tournament.
And who probably had more fun?
Clay Aiken.
Yeah, right.
Clay Aiken shows up to the DDR tournament.
But my God. I mean, so that was one of Jimbo's sight read tournaments. But like, I've always liked sight read tournaments.
Yeah, they're fun.
Because it's just a whole different game.
It's like, actually, I'm thinking of a new tournament format that might be cool. You know how, so like, one of the things, I've always compared sight read tournaments to limited in something like Magic the Gathering or sealed, where basically like in a sealed format, maybe it's not limited, it's actually sealed. I forget the terminology. But you basically get like 6 packs and you open them and you have to make a deck with those, with like, you can use lands and stuff, but like the cards that you open are the only ones that you're allowed to bring to the tournament. And so it's cool because like for someone like me who likes the game but doesn't play it actively, and like collects the cards, it's nice to like, I'm on the same, like I'm on sort of equal footing compared to everyone else. Someone else might open a really OP card, but like we're all kind of like playing with like shittier cards that don't cost like $75 a pop, and you need 4 of them. But there's also modern and like standard formats which use like some of them only use the last couple years of cards. Wouldn't it be interesting to only use the last couple of years of songs? Like you have
that would be very
you have a whole like our tournaments are like Legacy in Magic where everything goes.
Yeah,
you can get Paranoia remake or just the original Paranoia randomed. But what if you just do like Ace 2014 and 2013?
Yeah,
like that would change up a lot of things. You wouldn't have to practice a lot of songs.
Certainly would.
Or you might if you haven't been keeping up.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
But like you wouldn't
some people would step out of their box a little bit more though and stop playing all the familiar things that they played last decade.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like like now I want to do that.
Yeah, let's move into the new decade, okay?
Wow.
Ooh.
But if it was the last 3 years, then sorry, new decade's out.
Oh.
X2. Rip.
Oh.
New generation.
New century.
The one that's not by Soda that nobody remembers.
No, I remember it and then promptly forget it because I don't want to remember it.
It's a BSGS.
Be a big stupid guitar song. That's right. I explained what big stupid guitar songs are on commentary. That's what you're missing if you didn't watch the SF Evolved Round 1 San Jose tournament commentary.
So we want to move on to some news?
Well, we forgot about news. We usually do news in the beginning.
That's okay.
We kind of did news because we had like the tournaments that had results, and
Yes.
so we've been over a little bit.
It
of
was
news.
extended news.
Extended news. We have Fefems like actually played DDR, which he doesn't live near
That's
a
the
DDR
news.
machine.
That's the news.
Yeah, well, that would be news.
Is that he
Basically,
played-
anytime he plays, something cool happens. So yes, but a lot of people are confused about why he doesn't play a lot. He doesn't live near a machine, apparently. But he went to a machine, played, got a 970k on Endymion Challenge with only one miss.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, like
insane.
four
Insane.
goods,
And it was
one
like-
miss. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the combo that he had? It was like over 600.
Yeah.
Like
He had way over 700.
He got through like the 24th foot
Yep.
switchy section that I just can't even comprehend yet. And
Yep. And
wild.
but remember, 950k plus on Endymion gets you one lower on the Ace for Aces chart.
Mm-hmm.
So Ace for Aces expert was revealed slightly, sort of.
Like what, 8-9 steps?
Yeah, he it follows the piano melody in the beginning, and it's so right now Ace for Aces is weird because it has different skeletons, different
BPM.
beat. What were people calling it?
I call it beat maps.
Beat maps. Sounds like an Osu thing.
BPM maps. What do I call it? Is there a word for that?
I call it skeleton, like a chart skeleton.
Skeleton is I would probably just call it skeleton, honestly.
Okay. In any case,
Yeah.
So
timing data.
So it scrolls at 100 BPM. That's all we saw so far. So it starts off like the difficult does. Whether or not it's the same as the difficult, we don't know yet because we haven't gotten far enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I say we, as if I can pass Endymion Challenge. But when Fefems gets through more of it, we will see if it deviates from the difficult at all.
Mm-hmm.
Predictions?
I mean, we know it's a 15
Yeah.
because that was revealed when... I mean, I just don't know how you're going to make that song a 15, or a good 15 anyway, so I predict it'll be a bad 15.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's because it's... Oliver, what do you think?
I see no reason why they wouldn't change the timing data a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, so we have difficult, we have basic, which they flattened everything out, right? It's a flat 200.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why they couldn't make it a little bit more exciting for the 15s.
So you're saying it's 400 BPM?
I'm gonna throw that out there. I think there's a 400 BPM section in there somewhere. I don't think it belongs there.
It may not be right.
I wouldn't put one in myself. In fact, I wouldn't even step the song. But
Yeah.
I
same.
mean, I think they'll pull some more strings.
And then even if the stops at the end could be different,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
God, wouldn't that...
There is a potential, because this happens in other games like 2DX or Poppin', where the music itself changes from difficulty to difficulty.
Oh.
Just because we hadn't seen timing data change before, that has happened in a couple. Like, there's a Poppin' song called oh god, the name's gonna escape me right now. The EX chart is a 49. It's like Metallic Opera or something. I forget the actual title of it, but the hyper chart runs at half BPM, but the music is the same. So when the timing data on Ace for Aces changed suddenly between difficult and basic, DDR players are like, oh my god, this is something totally new. But people who played other Bemani games are like, yeah, this is old news.
Or even Pump, I mean.
Yeah, even Pump has
Mexi.
lots. Oh gosh.
That was I remember that. They just scrolled to 280 BPM for some stupid reason.
Yeah.
On the
That
crazy
seems like
or
a
the nightmare.
mistake almost.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Mexi doesn't belong to 280.
Yeah. But wait, so you were saying something about different songs?
Different
being played?
music as well as so.
How does that work in a 2-player game?
So in a 2-player game, you're usually forced on the same difficulty. So.
But you're not in 2DX anymore. You used to.
No, you are still forced to play the same difficulty on a song. So, for example, Noi, which is from Poppin' originally, but now moved to 2DX, has a different music file on the normal, hyper, and other difficulties. But if you're going to play it with 2 people, you are forced to pick the same difficulty.
Oh, so it's only on songs?
Only on songs like that.
Oh.
If you play anything else where it's the same music between slots of chart slots, then you can play different difficulties and the game doesn't care.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So something probably behind the scenes setting all that up.
Right. So it's not unprecedented for
It's not
you to
unprecedented.
be forced to pick the same difficulty as the person to your left or right.
Right.
Okay. That would be also new in DDR, I think. Right? No, I guess, if you count challenge as
Yeah, it's true.
challenge only things. But
So I'm saying that the stops at the end could be different
Because the music
if the
could
music
be.
is different.
that'd be interesting.
Like we just don't know a lot. Like now that they've really kind of turned the game upside down for this song, we don't really know what could happen.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a bold prediction that
Okay.
I think you're right about I think the skeleton's going to be different for the expert.
Mhm.
I don't think the music is going to be different because we know that the basic and the difficult music are the same.
Yeah.
So I think if they were to change the music as well, there would be some slight variation in the basic and the difficult.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very possible that the stops at the end are.
Yeah, I mean they could because the difficult like omits a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think I definitely think that's possible. I don't think they're going to change the song.
It would be on like every step.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
So yeah, it might be like just kind of like a film section.
Yeah.
Where it's just like it looks like a stream of notes. And then it's just dun
God.
dun 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 dun. Like
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most.
Yeah, because I mean, they have to assume that people like memorized it on difficult, that they're going to, or at least how the stops go on difficult, that to screw people up on expert,
Yeah.
they would change it up.
Yeah. I would assume so. Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe. I don't know. I honestly don't think that we're going to see the end of Ace for Aces until the new version comes out, or they just release it. Because Fefems doesn't really, like, he doesn't play that often, and Chris doesn't want to play Endymion Challenge all the time, and I don't
can't
blame
imagine
him.
why.
Yeah. And there's really no one else who can pass Endymion on Life 4 and also get a 950k plus. So I'm thinking
we
it's
might be waiting for a while.
I
yeah.
think we're just gonna see it when it comes out.
I think we need to light a fire under Chris's butt.
Wait, he might injure himself again. I don't know if we want that.
Oh, that's true.
My butt's hot.
Episode title. Chris's butt is hot.
Well,
That's a whole different
that's
story.
different. That's a different connotation.
I'm not denying that.
That's spicy. Well, now that we've made this show R-rated and lost our rating on iTunes for being kid friendly.
Oh, speaking of which, yeah, rate us on iTunes.
Oh, can you do that?
Yeah, you can rate on iTunes and leave reviews,
Oh, cool.
which helps with like podcast rankings and things and like SEO.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be number one.
Yeah,
for sure.
totally, definitely.
Yeah, there's like the 300 people that listen to this show will definitely get past Mabim Bam and everything else.
Yes.
For sure.
And
Regardless.
car talk reruns.
Oh, I love
gosh.
car talk though. I don't even have. I mean, I have a car, but I don't even.
One of the guys
I don't
died,
talk to
so now they just have reruns.
Oh.
Well, that's sad, but they're also hilarious.
They should just do like what we do and just cycle people in and out.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes they can cycle the dead guy back.
Oh, did we not mention Roger and James died?
Oh.
Oh.
They're still here. They went to a better place, and by that I mean like Hawaii and.
Yeah,
Somewhere
yeah.
else.
Roger's going to. So speaking of which, next week is Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, we're not going to be doing a show.
Yeah, we're not going to have an episode next week.
We're going to be stuffed full of turkey and unable to move.
Well, and I will also be in Fresno and unable to move.
Right.
So,
For totally other
Figuratively
reasons.
and literally.
just different reasons.
What are you doing in Fresno?
Yep.
So don't look for a show next week.
Yep. Sorry.
Listen to this one twice.
I mean, you can go back and listen to or like watch one of the live shows.
Or watch the commentary from the San Jose tour.
Oh, there we go. That's your
Yeah.
homework. Watch all like 10 hours of it.
It's about equivalent.
Yeah, you know.
It's only like 5 hours.
So, we got some questions.
Let's do questions.
Who's got the
Is it-
questions?
is it-
Who's
Somebody's got the questions.
Somebody's got the chalk, the chalk, the
somebody
chalk,
has
chalk
questions.
I have questions too.
I have lots of questions.
Lots. I have so many questions.
Oh, here. Perfect for you, Jeff.
What?
How does one simply get good at runs and drills?
If I knew, I'd tell you.
Christian Badola. It's probably pronounced not as white as I just said it, but for some reason I struggle with certain runs with 16th notes. Some runs I struggle with include the ones in Air Heroes and Unbelievable.
Yeah, so Unbelievable and Air Heroes are both hard because they have like what we call candle runs, which are a pattern that's like up, left, down, or up, right, down, or the mirror of that. And those are just like you have to do a lot of extra work to get from the top side of the pad to the bottom side of the pad. You're using both your toe and your heel.
Mm-hmm.
So part of it could be form where like if you're on your toes, then yeah, you actually have a huge distance to cross between the up arrow with your toes and the down arrow with your toes. So playing more of a flat-footed way might help.
Mm-hmm.
other than that, it's hard to like give specific advice.
I mean, we always say kind of like if you sort of like lower your body a little bit too.
Yeah, like I sort of for especially runs for like in Unbelievable, I sort of like my torso kind of goes down a little bit, and like I put more weight on the bar. Depends on if you're a bar player or not. But if you do use the bar, which you should, like adding more weight. Oliver's giving me the stink eye. Putting more weight on the bar kind of lets you move your legs more independently of the rest of your body, which can help you sort of like keep the right momentum and not waste too much energy. So it takes a lot of energy for like a brief moment, but it enables you to actually hit the arrows, which is important.
And drills are a problem for a lot of people because it like oddly enough, people you would think like, oh, it's just on 2 arrows, like I can do that.
Nope.
But it's like it's a lot harder to keep the rhythm on just 2 arrows.
You don't have like a nice place for you to go next. Like it's kind of just continual. At least for me, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's weird repeating. Like if you do any motion like repetitively, like a bunch of times, like it's hard to keep doing it. Whereas if you're moving more and doing different things,
yeah.
So
it's like control over a small amount of motion is different from control over a large amount of motion.
Exactly.
Relatively small and large. Yeah.
Going back to the kennel runs for a second, I think even when I do play without bar, my torso does lower.
Okay.
To give my legs a little bit more ability to like bend and shuffle between the front and the back of the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's like, are you lowering your center of mass? Is that the idea behind it?
Yeah. I think because if the chart is not as intense, then my legs are straighter.
Right.
So
yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's not like I play without bar all the time. Like I will play ITG with bar. So
yeah. I'm just thinking in my head of like, is the center of mass thing like the reason behind me kind of going down lower?
It's definitely like taking your weight off of your legs a little bit to be able to move them faster is going to be a large part of that.
Yeah.
We got another one from Zephyr 101 here. Says we might have addressed this before, but we got Oliver here. So if you could bring back any song from any DDR mix, what would it be?
They're all looking at me, and I'm like, not a lot of songs have been removed since I started playing.
But you went back and played Extreme a little bit. You know some Extreme songs.
I mean, Cartoon Heroes is the answer here.
I might say Cartoon Heroes just because it's like a great blend of challenging and just like a really fun song and chart.
And like everyone knows it.
Yeah. I was thinking like Angelus is something I would love to see back.
I would love to see Angelus back too, I think. I don't have nearly the emotional attachment to Cartoon Heroes as everybody does, so I don't think of it.
I mean, I miss like Hero, like Speeeedy Mix.
Oh, like the KCP discotheque.
Yeah, whatever.
That one was pretty nice.
La-di-da-da.
You are my hero.
I do miss like the upbeat phase of DDR a little bit.
I like
Shooting Star.
Honestly, just all of Fifth Mix. Like
you just need DDR. So 2013 was versus X3 was versus second mix. So it's like count up until we get to fifth mix.
We are like Ace. We're Ace versus fourth mix.
Okay.
Which is fine with, like, I also will take most of fourth mix.
Yeah. So, DDR base just needs to be versus fifth mix.
That'd be amazing. What if that's the reason it's taking a while?
They have to bring back all those licenses.
Relicense Moonlight Shadow.
They have to relicense Eat You Up by whoever that is.
They might be dead by now. Who knows?
Conga Feelin'.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just want Shooting Star back.
Like, anytime I play Fifth Mix, I have to play Conga Feelin' double. It is, like, one of the best.
It's a salsa chart.
It is. Like, you're, like, literally salsaing.
Yeah,
like,
it's
playing.
really good.
It's so good.
But you also have to play
Conga-ing probably is the correct term for it.
You have to play No Limit double.
Also very good.
Because, oh my god, it's like my favorite double chart. Besides Himawari Sunset, which I really love.
Which is No Limits by 2 Unlimited.
Yes.
Who also does, I think, Y'all Ready for This?
They do a lot of stuff, but they did Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but like I didn't realize it was like...
Oh yeah,
it's like the basketball song. The Y'all ready for this?
They probably do that. Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, that's by the same people as No Limit.
And they do tribal dance.
I learned something about basketball today.
We're a very informative podcast.
Cover all the sports.
All the sports, not just the E ones.
Okay, we got some more questions. My phone will cooperate.
Kapapari.
David, who ran the tournament, David Hua, Azuri and Rex on Twitter, asks, what keeps you motivated?
I want to be the very best like no one ever was.
Fair. I think my friends keep me motivated. Like,
Aww.
yeah. It's so frustrating that like I can't play recently. Like I keep seeing people's scores on Twitter and like people were talking about stuff in the Discord channel and I'm like, man, I really want to play. Like I see these people like playing more 17s. I'm like, man, I want to go turn up on some 17s. Like this game would be completely different playing just by yourself. Like and not having the like online community.
Well, that's how we were playing for a long time.
Yeah,
people had like more local communities then, but I think the reason why people got so much better was because there is an online community. So because people were motivated by more people, like you're not living in like your little bubble.
Yeah, you're not setting your own goals and reaching them and never realizing that you could be setting higher goals or you don't have like a state of the art, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, I remember these people came to Fresno from like one of the outlying cities and they saw us play like max 300 and somebody got like an A on max 300 or double A maybe and they were like,
oh wow,
what? It's like we can like barely pass it, like, and they like just, I mean, it was really early internet days probably even that they just had no context outside of the game. So
yeah.
What keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated?
Memes.
I mean, it doesn't have to be just for DDR, but even for 2DX.
I do really enjoy the sense of like granular personal accomplishment that I can get from like upping my scores on songs gradually or passing new stuff or like getting that fresh new PFC. And I think I would balance that with the friends that I've made along the way. Because I mean, it's really cheesy, but they are really good friends. So I think it counts for a lot. It's definitely not. If it was a game that I was playing all by myself with no contact with the outside world, I would get bored very easily, and I probably would just quit the game and continue listening to the music, but not play the game very much. I do love the music.
Yeah,
the music is one of the things that got me to stay with the game. But
music in the rhythm.
Yes, music in the rhythm. The music, the rhythm, and the music in the rhythm. Rhythms inside.
I think that's what we got. We had one more about. Sort of just a more general topic. Maybe we can. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. The rating system.
Oh yeah. We ended up talking about the tournament stuff for a long time.
Yeah, we had like a nice little discussion about that.
We'll talk about the rating system another time.
Yeah, we have lots of ideas to talk about, but in the Discord channel, if you go there and you have any ideas of stuff you want us to talk about or anything, like ask us questions for the next Tap show, feel free to hit us up.
Yeah, and moving on to Tap Set of the Week.
So let's talk about Tap Set of the Week. So I think we should go over last week's players of the... Do we have a name for the people who played Tap Set of the Week yet? Or should we just...
Tappers?
The tappers.
They gotta be tappers, right?
That's the name of our fans.
Tappers?
That's our fan group.
Oh, we got it. Well, yeah, we'll totally do that.
All right. So
we'll make t-shirts.
So here are the tappers from last week. And what was the set that they had to play?
La Libertad.
La Libertad was in there.
You Are a Star and Vembrinkar.
And Vembrinkar.
Yeah.
So
it was wild.
And actually, first, Elaine just sent me her set of the week.
Oh.
Ooh.
So
like
she's
literally at 9
the deadline.
At 9:34.
At 9 o'clock.
Okay.
While we were recording, but yes. So shout outs to Elaine first for sending in a very late submission. But late submissions are always welcome. There's no real deadline.
We'll do it live.
Just play the set, for God's sake. Like, it's a good set. Like, actually, I really like this week. I didn't get a chance to play it because I haven't had time, but God, I wish. I like playing them Vembrinkar on double is just like okay hand emoji.
He's doing it now.
Yes. So anyhow, we have I'm just gonna read Twitter handles. You can look them up at your leisure. We have Renatalis, and we have Jeffro Sledger, and we have Lau Loser, Alessandro T_B, ATB, Zephyr 101, who I believe asked the question earlier.
Yeah.
Roger Clark also played the set.
Oh, Roger.
We have Rad_Rod, if you're on Twitter, who we mentioned earlier came to play in the tournament and had a good showing. At Wicked Fedora, Kunal Des, that's DES at the end, without the U. and Astriferous __. And
Man, this is way more people than I thought. Sorry.
There's a lot. This is a list of 10.
That's amazing.
I think it's the most we've got so far.
Clearly, it was a great set. I mean,
yeah.
Pat yourself on the back for Van Brinkar a little bit.
I'm giving myself 1/3 of a pat on the back because that's all I'll take responsibility for.
How do you do 1/3 of a pat?
I mean, you've got 5 fingers and a palm, so just
I thought you were gonna say take the pee or something.
Oh, I was gonna say we can
yeah, I like that one.
I was gonna say we could dismember your roommate.
Oh yeah.
No, let's not do that. My roommate is also named Pat.
He's too beautiful. You can't do that.
Very true. And shout outs to Roger, who's not here and probably won't listen to this, but he got 5 on La Libertad.
Not in the set of the week.
Not in the set of the week.
That's pretty good.
And then
we made him play it, and then he wanted to play it again because he wasn't satisfied with his score, and then he did really well on it.
Yeah. One of the potential qualifiers for the tournament was Second Heaven, and so everybody was they're like, oh, that's going to be the qualifier. It ended up being unbelievable, actually.
Right.
But everyone was convinced that Second Heaven was going to be the qualifier, so everybody practiced Second Heaven, and not too many people were thrilled with that. But
it's good to play charts like that every now and then to remind yourself of what the game is capable of throwing at you. So.
And now is the part of the podcast where we recommend songs
for the next taps of the week.
Taps of the week.
Hell yeah!
Who wants to kick us off?
Did I select the song with the lowest difficulty? So
yes, we're going up on ratings.
Oh, okay. I see how this goes.
So my selection again is from SuperNOVA 2, and it is Moonster, which I think is a song that gets passed over in the song wheel a lot because it's not your average song selection. It's got a nice little 2-step feel to it that I really enjoy. The chart is all right, but I definitely really like the song. I picked my selections based on the song. So
I think I will say Moonster is, first of all, a fantastic song, and I agree that the charts leaves a little bit to be desired, but it is tricky.
It is really tricky.
It is one of the only songs of its kind in terms of the way it tries to trick you.
Right.
And so it is very good in a tournament, I think, for what it's worth.
Well,
so
now everybody will have played it after this week, so you shouldn't pick it anymore.
Well, but that's kind of the point. We're trying to get you holistically good at the game with these taps of the weeks.
Right.
And that's one way, I think. So I applaud your pick.
Oh no.
Now
oh no!
Now Dalton has to match up with.
No, this is the segment we're calling Dalton tries to pronounce Japanese words.
Oh yeah. This is an amazing set.
He's branching out as well in his own way.
Yeah, this isn't fair because both Jeff and Oliver speak Japanese, and then I'm the one who decided to pick a song with a Japanese title.
I also decided to pick a song with a Japanese title.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Well,
but you don't know about it yet.
Yeah. Asairo no kamihikouki?
Koki, very good.
That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Asairo.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Asairo no kamihikouki.
Thanks, Terrace House.
And what does that mean, Jeff?
That means morning color paper airplane.
Right. So you can identify the song if you can't read Japanese. It's got a jacket with a paper airplane outline and morning colors.
Yeah, it's sort of a nice gradient from blue to yellow to pink to purple.
And it also pops up pretty early in the song list.
It is the first song in DDR 2014.
Right.
And it is a banger.
It's a Camellia song.
It's so good.
Let me tell you, with vocals by Gumi.
Is it Gumi?
It is Gumi, I
Nice.
think.
According to
there was an event.
Remy Week.
It's just not credited, right?
Not credited, but
yeah.
There was an event where they released 3 songs with Gumi vocals.
Right, that's that's from Electric. Entranced Dream Music.
I don't remember.
EDM.
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
I just remember there's Asairo no kamihikouki, there's Mayu, and then there's that Soda song that I don't remember.
Oh,
I
also really
my
like
least favorite of the 3.
I like Mayu.
Mayu is really.
I might pick, that's another banger. I might pick that.
Don't give away your hand yet.
We'll be in a couple weeks. People will forget. But it's 132 BPM, so it's sort of non-assuming. Is that the word? But it's it goes pretty hard.
Yeah,
I mean, it has some interesting little run things.
Some tricky 16th patterns in there that you don't see a lot.
Yeah.
It's also got a really good double chart. I used to play that a lot.
Oh, I need to give that a try.
So it's got a couple slightly stretchy patterns, but it's very comfortable for a 13.
Yeah. And so, as always, we'll post pictures of the song jackets.
Right.
And so this is from 2014, by the way.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, unless Jeff's song is from Ace, is it?
It's not.
Okay. Then, if you have, you don't have to play it on Ace. I think Renatalis played last week's set on 2014.
Yeah.
So if you have access to a machine of that sort, somehow, through magic.
Through magic. Magic which will not be described in this podcast.
in detail, but that's a possibility.
We got to keep our clean rating.
So, that's my pick. I'm not gonna like say the song title again. I did it once.
Okay.
Okay, drum roll.
So my song pick for this week is Kouen. Much easier to pronounce.
Oh.
Sorry, Dalton. But
Sakura.
Gyurugamesh. Oh no, it's called Kouen. It means crimson fire. Scarlet Fire, it's been translated differently.
It's that color.
Yeah.
Red.
It's a pawn song.
Yeah.
And it's really underrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is, 12 on Expert, 15 on Challenge. Challenge is super fun. I thought it was really fun, and then I tried to get people to play it with me, and no one wanted to. And then, 3 months ago, everyone realized it was awesome. So, I'm including it in the set of the week because...
Is that the one with the dude with the sword sort of thing? Or is that Crimson Gate?
The Crimson Gate is the sort of one. That's the 13. That's really, really awkward.
Kouen is the guy with there's lots of fire around him.
He looks like a poppin' character.
Yeah, they actually, it was an event where they had 4 songs, Tsugidoka.
Yep.
And was there supposed to be some sort of contest to select which song stayed in the games or something? And then they decided to keep all 4?
I don't know. I just know it was a cross event, so it was was Rensen Ryodan, which I almost picked as well.
Yeah, that one's surprisingly good.
Kouen, Snow Prism, and...
Cosmic Hurricane.
Yes.
But yeah, those are all in Poppin' too, so I have slightly different associations with Kouen, but it's also good there.
Yeah, I like Kouen a lot. And it's got really cool 16th note into 12th note sections, kind of hard to time, but it's a good pawn song. They're good,
They
actually.
exist.
Underrated, but I like pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emerald really grows on you after a while. It's like...
It's good at... What was it? What were the lyrics?
That wasn't Discord, was it?
Yeah.
It's to the tune of Imera.
Yeah.
It's
good actually. Yeah. The song you think is bad. Anyway, that's a good way to end us, I think.
Yep.
End our lives. So
we can join Roger and James in the
Shadow Realm.
So yeah, thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks, not next week, because next week's Thanksgiving. But appreciate your constant listening. So thank you
for playing.
For playing. There we go.
You want to try that one more time?
No.
Sorry, I'm just sync late.
Oh God.